sure if I'm clear. I was trying to do a sound check to make sure that I could be heard as the plane was going by. It's a little windy. First of you in attendance, can you please let me know if I'm clear over the wind and the outer and all the outer noises? Thank you, Derek Brown. Shalom, shalom. I'm just out here getting some fresh air, some sunlight. So I want to do this video explaining how the spirits of the dead watch the living on television. Now I know that sounds pretty strange, but it's really not that strange when you consider the technology of a television, telephone, radio, things of this nature. And then when you consider you know very little about death, when you put all those things in consideration, then, you know, it doesn't sound that strange. It's just something in life. Now, you have a lot of people that have near-death experiences. Can you guys let me know specifically if I'm clear as this plane is going by? Because I don't want to stop when it does. That's the most annoying part of doing videos outside. But if I'm clear as it's going by, then this is perfect. I could just flow on through with the video. Perfect. Everything's working. Thank you, JM. And so, like I said, the topic's not that strange. It's all depending on what you know and how familiar you've become with technology. Because speaking on the phone to people that's in a completely different state to you is strange. We just used to that, but that is just about as strange as somebody saying, man, I speak to dead people on the telephone. What's the difference? We talking about the same thing, basically. You understand? You basically telling me you speak to somebody that ain't nowhere in the same realm as you. You in California, they in New York. Technically, that makes no sense. They not even on the same day as you. Meaning they track of time is different. So how does that even make sense? But technology, it makes it, you know, makes it feasible. And so, like I said, I want to explain how the spirits of the dead watch their life that just passed, as well as, you know, the living that's still here on television. You have people that have near-death experiences, and sometimes they say that their life was showed to them on a television. You also have movies like The Poltergeist, where the little girl is trapped in the television. And of course, you have like the spirits or demons that belong to in the television realm, so to say. And so the movie has a correlation to what I'm saying. You also have Little Shop of Horror, where they're kind of like insinuating that the plants are demons or evil. And so we have these little references, but most people don't know where they derive. And so they derive from the knowledge of old, when man used to communicate with the spirits of the dead. Now, how it works is like this. The living and the dead is the same thing, just kind of like the reverse side of the coin. Whoever's dead was... I know this topic is strange, but just bear with me. It's all truth. I'm We just speaking about life, so nobody needs to ask me for a reference. You're alive, no matter how strange it is nothing I'm saying you should not have not experienced. So everybody should be clear, like whoever's dead, they had to be alive. In that the living and the dead are the same, and so it becomes a tide between the two. When I say a tide, you see the water? Right now the tide is out. But sometimes when I do videos, then the tide is in. Like that. You have a going and coming tide. The tide is not the coming and going, but it's what, mediates that balance. It's like day and night. Day and night are tides. Day comes, then night comes. Or day comes, then it recedes. However you want to view it, but it's a tide. Now, when you're dealing with living people and the spirits of those that died, the plants is the tide between the two. So you have a breath tide. This is our inhale being the dead's exhale and vice versa. That's one aspect of the tide. Meaning when we inhale, we're inhaling the dead or the spirits of the dead's exhale. When we exhale, the spirits of the dead are inhaling that. And so inhale, exhale itself on a life scale is something that's happening between the living and the dead. Yes, you breathe in and you breathe out, but you represent one aspect of that breath, which is the breathing in part. This is the part y'all control, but the going out, this is what's pulled from y'all. Like, hold your breath right now to see, like, the pull. There's no pull when you exhale and then you get it? It's just over. Like when a person dies, they give up the breath. The breath goes, meaning the exhale. The exhale has to do with the dead. So like I said, there's a tide between people who are alive and people who are dead. Now I'm sure you guys are wondering, how is the dead breathing? Our soul or spirit is what breathes, not the body. Your breathing right now ain't got nothing to do with the body. You get it? That's your life force breathing, the breath. And so that stays with the consciousness or the soul. It has nothing to, the body does nothing. It is a reflection of the soul, or it has the qualities of the soul. Once the soul or the spirit is gone, so do you get my point? And so breathing, awake, unconscious and conscious, these is all aspects that have to do with the soul, not necessarily the body. When y'all falling asleep, y'all body is not awakening into dream. That's the soul, the spirit. I'm giving you that reference so you could grasp. Whether you have a body or not, you still have an unconscious and a consciousness. You just call it dream and sleep when you're dealing with that aspect of it. But use that as a reference to grasp when I say the consciousness, which is the awake, and the going to sleep. This all have to do with the spirit, not your body. Your body is just a vessel for you to deal with the outer world. It's kind of like the remote control. Life is so strange, but your body is like the remote control so that you could like do what you need to do here. Kind of like in a video game, you need the remote control to control like the player, because you're not in the TV, or you not the TV. You get it? Like that. You not this physical world, so you need a means to like maneuver in it. That's kind of where your body comes in at. And so I'm giving you guys those references so y'all can grasp that the spirit is what inhales and exhales. The spirit is what goes unconscious and then regains the consciousness. And this is the essence of self. And so it's that that the living and the dead share. This is why you have a tide between the living and the dead. Of course, you have to remember everybody that's dead, they was alive. And everybody that's alive gonna be dead. So there has to be a joining place for the dead to even merge. I mean, for those who were alive who died to merge with the dead. Meaning, however you cut it, there has to be some sort of medium between the living and the dead. And they have to share some sort of aspect of life because they're like before and after, technically. Now, like I said, when you're dealing with the plants is that medium. To give you a reference of the breath tide between the living and the dead, like I said, the dead inhale, our exhale. And we inhale, the dead's exhale. So when the living exhales, the dead is inhaling. And when the living inhales, the dead is exhaling. It's a tide. And the plants control that tide. Now, to give you reference or proof of that, of course, y'all know in science, it is stated that the plants release out oxygen and we breathe in that oxygen. We take in that oxygen and we breathe out our own carbon. And the plants take that in and transcend it over into sugars and other things. And so let's say those other things have to do with the spirits of the dead getting their part of the breath. This is a carbon and oxygen thing, a living and dead thing. Now the plants control that, meaning the plants is the mediator between the living and the dead. That science reference that I just gave you, so you shouldn't have any questions on if what I'm saying is true, whether you knew this or not. So this is why my channel is important. Now the living and the dead have a breath tie between them. They also have other tides. Or let's say if you understand that the plants is the tide between the living and the dead, the breath helping you to grasp that, then you can grasp that the living can go to the realms of the dead by using the plants, being as though the plants are the mediator. You have to remember the plants are coming from below. A seed is planted, where the flower blossoms from, y'all truly do not know. But you get my point? Like that. The plants is emerging from what y'all do not know. Spaces y'all do not grasp in life. And so you have psychedelic plants here on Earth. The psychedelic plants, as well as the toxic plants, it's one and the same. The psychedelic plants are toxic, are poisonous. This is why most people have to microdose it, because if you take it at a regular dose, you'll die. But the psychedelic plants and the poisonous plants is how man can go to the spirits of the dead's realm. And so in the past, this is what man was getting into. Meaning in the past, man had real television. He'd take the psychedelic plants. Of course, you have to know the proper mixture. Meaning you have DMT, ayahuasca. You have DMT, ayahuasca, and many other psychs. But it's the mixing of them. It's just like you have eggs and flour. But if you don't know you can mix them and make cake, waffles, and pancakes, then you just got what you got, which is flour and just eggs by itself cooked and flour cooked by itself. But if you know the recipes in life, then you get it and you can bring about more for yourself in life. And so it works like that with the psychedelic plants. And this is what you call the sacred magic of old. Knowing the different psychedelic substances that lie in the different plants. And the different realms these substances will take you. Meaning if you take DMT, so then you end up in a place. And there's entity there. They talk to you and dance around and play with you. And a lot of the other psychedelic drugs are like that. Some of them have to be merged with others to bring about that reality. And so this is where you get your elixirs and your witchcraft, so to say. Thank you for the give back. I appreciate that. Anyone else wants to, you can click the title of the video. And so in the past, this is what you called roots and spells and elixirs. This was a part of that. This wasn't that aspect of that science, but this is that same science, meaning if someone put roots on you so they had understanding of the plants and they knew how to mix and merge the different plants, whether poisonous, medicinal, whatever the case, they knew how to mix them together and administer them to people, causing, disease, virus, or the healing of it. You get it? So this your light and dark magic. If I'm putting virus and things on you, so you grasp, I'm hitting you with the dark. If somebody come along and they know the same science as I do, then they can heal you. They say, no, I know the medicine for that. But this all have to do with the plants. This is plant knowledge. And so in the past, the people had access to the plants. We don't now. Y'all don't have access to like a peyote cactus or the ayahuasca plant or the cocaine plant. Meaning most people don't even know cocaine plant have red berries on it. And those berries have like a minty sensation when you chew it. Most people think it has no effect. It's just a minty thing, but them berries is important. But I don't want to get too off topic. So like I said, that's just your roots and spells knowledge. Of course, in the daytime, it's all scrambled up. This knowledge was removed from man. Of course, I'm sure y'all can see why. Just imagine if y'all knew this, so then y'all be walking. Y'all wouldn't be shooting each other and stuff. Y'all will be doing like, you get it? People be walking around here with the craziest diseases you ever heard of. But then this stuff contagious. But when people get lost in their crazy emotions, you get it? It's like when a person shoot a person, they not considering like, okay, now all the young people seeing me shoot, now they gonna handle their problems like that. On top of that, the person I shot, they people gonna want to shoot me, and now I'm creating a whole environment where my shooting ain't gonna serve me or nobody. It's just gonna cause us all to get shot as time go on. In the past, people are afflicting people with diseases, forgetting it's contagious. And so you get it? You get it. You mad at me, you give me a disease, but you forgetting like, oh yeah, he mingled with my peoples and shit like that. We all in the same like little village. Like that. Getting lost in their emotions, doing dumb stuff. So this is your Salem witch trials era where they banned it and they burned whoever at the stake that knew it. That's how serious this was. Remember, we don't have access to the plants now. They removed a lot of that. But in the past, it was here. So it was a dire matter. It wasn't something that you can ignore. It's like the drug epidemic we got now. Whenever you talking about drug substances, you're going to have strange epidemics. And so we kind of getting back to those times that I'm speaking of. Meaning a lot of y'all are taking little drugs and you like, yeah, that shit kind of had me blasted off in the head. Yeah, we almost there. Well, y'all going to be doing these drugs. Y'all going to learn the recipes. And like I said, in the past, people knew the recipes to go to the spirit realms. Just look at it like you got all the psychedelic drug plants. And let's say there's 20 different mixtures you could do with them. Like mixing this one with the other one. 20 different sequences, though, that you can do. And each sequence will bring you to a specific place in the spirit realms. Now, of course, there's thousands. But I'm just making it simple. And so in the past, people didn't have television. They had that wisdom. If a person wanted to be occupied and watch a little half an hour show, they just blast off to the spirit realms. And Donald Duck and everybody was there. This is where all y'all cartoon characters come from. People blasting off in the past and then coming back and documenting it and making product of it. So television is a product of the spirit world. And a lot of the characters and things, especially in the cartoon realms, they come from there. Popeye, all of that. This is just people from the spirit realms. Mickey Mouse, but in the past, Mickey Mouse was Oswald, the lucky rabbit. You get my point? All them weird cartoon characters. If you ever wondered, where did they get the thought to make them dumb characters? Got that from the spirits, meaning that's what the spirits look like in the spirit realm, all strange. It's hard to explain this topic. Most people don't have a mind to grasp, but in the past, man would go to the spirit realms by understanding the plants and how the plants is a medium between the living and the dead. And so while man was in the spirit realms playing his games with the spirits, meaning taking the different substances, going to the place, speaking to the entities there, learning things from them, you have texts that speak of this, old texts, like how people were dealing with spirits and the spirits was giving them knowledge and power. You get it? Like that. I think it's writings on Solomon like that, where he was getting knowledge from the spirits and he was controlling the spirits. And it's speaking of what I just said. People was visiting the spirit realms by means of, the plants, their psychedelic substances. And of course, when they get there, they communicating with the spirits. This is what spirit communing is. And so the spirits have their information, things they know. They was alive before, so they know what they know. It's just like when y'all die, y'all still know what y'all know. Y'all still have y'all addictions, y'all urges, and you get it. The bargains can be made. The dead want to be alive, and the alive want to know what the dead know. Just make it to you that simple. Y'all would die for a chance to talk to the dead. Man, y'all would pay top dollar to speak to the dead, because y'all like, I know they got the, everybody here is new in comparison to them. They been here, now they gone. So that's old mind to pull from. Is my screen clear? It's a little dim on my end. I want y'all to get the same view I got. Just a little foggy. Y'all don't give back, so I ain't got, my equipment is cheap. I'm poor. Because the people that watch me don't support, they just using me and shit. I'm just telling the new viewers this. You know how y'all be going out spreading y'all false narratives on me? Well, I got my own. Direly poor. Some days I don't even get to eat. This is why I'm so slim. I try to make my way, giving out this deep knowledge. But the world is so unbalanced. It just do me any old kind of way. But I'm a good person, so I just stick to my guns and my morals. Push this deep knowledge out. Now, where was that? Oh, man being in the spirit realm. So he's dealing with the spirits. The spirits are giving him information, Now, the information that's being given to man is telecommunications. This is telepathy, meaning telecommunications got to do with y'all telephone and radio and how y'all speak to one another, and y'all ain't nowhere near each other. That crazy science. And that crazy science was used to communicate with the spirits first. Meaning before the telephone and radio was a household product that we used to communicate with others that are in far places, it was used for the living to communicate with the dead, and that was the only use and purpose for it. So in the past, the spirits, by way of the plants, taught man how to communicate with them without having to get high. Meaning man taking the different drug substance mixtures to go to the spirit realms. While there, the spirits are putting up on game about the metals. They say you ain't gotta get high to come here. The drugs have metals in them. That's what make you come here or make you able to communicate with us. But you got metals already in your realms, and if you understand metallurgy and the mixing of the metals, you could communicate with us without having to get high. Now, if you lost your television, your phone, it have to do with metals. When you're talking about harnessing energy or anything, it got to do with like your copper wire, your nickel wire. Your understanding of the metals and the catching of the current. We're talking tides, so don't ever forget. And so it have to do with that. The understanding of the metals, circuit, and the catching of the current, and how to distribute that current to a specific location. In terms of energy, light bulb. The energy is taken in from the outer world, the sun, wherever, and then it's distributed through the metal wires to the specific location. Telephone, radio, and all of this works in the same way. I'm trying to give you guys a simple, a simple understanding so you don't get too confused. But the spirits of the dead taught man the metals and how to create telecommunications, but to speak with them. Of course, man can use this technology in his own world to make himself great and better. The spirits don't care. I give you this wisdom. You can do it whatever you want with it, but just make sure you keep our pact. And so now man's communicating with the spirits by means of, the technology, the telecommunications, which is your telephone and radio science. Now, your regular common man at that time, they getting high, still visiting the spirits the old school way. But your elites, your scientists, you get it? They're communicating with the spirits, getting valuable information. Common man simple, they asking dumb shit. But your intellectuals are visiting this realm, getting valuable information. How did the kings of old, communicate with one another? Then they starting to get, you get it? Telecommunications understanding, which is telepathy. Anytime you hear tele, you're talking a form of telepathy or a device used for it. So telephone, television. Telephone is the device to speak to something not in your realms. Television is to see something that's not in your realms. But let's keep everything simple. And so, like I said, the spirits of the dead taught man telecommunications. And so now man is communicating with the spirits of the dead by telephone and by radio. And then eventually the telephone was brought to the public. And so your early telephone numbers, there wasn't no early telephone numbers. If I had a phone and you had a phone, so do you get it? I'd basically just pick up the phone and the automated operator would be on the line. And you get it? They would connect me to you. And all phone connections probably had like 3-digit numbers, meaning there was a time where phones only had 3 digits. Your phone number would have been 3 digits, mine too. And then that evolved to the 7, you get it, so on and so forth. And then to the area codes connecting different places. Because before, everything starts in one place. So as it evolves, then, the adjustments is made. But all that you know about a telephone, area codes, and things like that, it had to do with the spirits of the dead realms. You have many different places there, many different realms. And so that's how the dead was being communicated with, by number. Like, you have to know the area code and number to the specific area of the dead. And so while man is doing that, communicating with the dead, or the elites are communicating with the dead by telephone, man just using telephone now at this time to communicate with his loved ones that live across the river. But your elites, your scientists, they're using this magic or this science to communicate with the dead by telephone, by radio. And the dead is explaining to them teleputing. So the spirits of the dead teach them how to communicate with them by telephone or telepathy, telecommunications. And by that means they teach them how to communicate with them by teleputing, meaning they teach them how to create a device where they can type in text back and forth with the dead instead of just speaking all the time. So if you're grasping, the spirits of the dead teach man the metals and things so he can create a device where he can communicate with them instead of getting high to do it. And from there, he teach them how to create more devices where they can text and type. So this is like your early computer. It didn't have no images. It was just a word thing. And when you dealing, this is before the public use of a computer. This is the decades and centuries of, scientists working with computers before the public even seen it. And the many different evolutions it went through. And so the spirits of the dead through telecommunications, they teach them teleputing. This is the beginnings of the computer. And through teleputing, they teach man television. And television being a device used where now they can see the dead. So it went from man going to the spirits of the dead realms by means of plants, to them communicating with the dead by means of telephone, to them typing and texting back and forth with the dead by means of computer, that evolving to them being able to actually see the dead, and the dead being able to see them back, like when they take the plant substance. Because through telephone and teleputing, you don't see them. You take the substance, you can see them, but that's becoming to be banned. So you get it? And so now you have television, which is basically a computer with a television screen. And so think like the Ouija board and the scrying mirror. These are little games, are product versions of that real science. So the Ouija board looked like a bootleg cardboard computer if you have a brain to grasp. And so it's like I said, they selling man like games and product versions of real sciences and technologies they're using. So man has this bootleg Ouija board game where he pretends he speaks to the spirits of the dead, but that's just the representation of a real device, which is what we know as a computer now, where you could type and text and move the mouse and, you get it? Communicate back with the spirits of the dead where they're typing back to you. Now, when you playing with the little bootleg Ouija board game version of it, so you gotta move it yourself and pretend, but it still got the numbers and all of that, you get it? It's like your phone, it have yes, no, numbers, letters. Ouija board, it's just the old product game version of things to come, which is the computer and the phone. When the computer and the phone was being used by the elites. If I'm not clear, let me know. If anyone wants to give back, please do so. And so now you have man communicating with the dead by all those means. Still in current times, but this is not for modern man to know. Now, this is where you get your summoning spirits and all of those stories from. Meaning this had to do with technology and one having the understanding of that technology. So in the past, you did have people that had computers or television computers where they could communicate with the dead, and you'd have to go see them and they'd bring your dead loved one up on the screen, for real though. And y'all talk back and forth, and it's just strange. Kind of like when we FaceTiming now, and when that first started, we was like, man, that's strange. You telling me I could look right in the computer or at my phone at the person face that I'm talking to when they somewhere else? So like that, it was strange when it was. But it was familiar to the people of the past, so it wasn't that strange. You get it? Meaning the telephone is strange, so you will figure like, yeah, there's got to be something to speak to the dead, because of what the heck? They got weird wires and shit, and it make me talk to somebody nowhere near me, so this must be some strange spirit device. In the past, they didn't have the phones for how we use it, so to them, that made perfect sense. Yeah, I could talk to the dead on this thing. What else would I be talking about? I could speak to the living face to face. It don't make sense to y'all now because y'all use the science as product, kind of being charged in for it. So it's just, when you have the understanding, it's interesting when you look back and then you see now, you say, damn, the people in the past will be confused in their perspective, they're more confused like how we speaking to one another, or why we using the spirit mediums to speak. They will be confused like how the same way y'all are confused a little bit. Like, I don't still don't get how it's a phone for speaking to the dead. The dead, the people that's in the past will be like that now. Like, I just don't get why y'all want to speak to each other on the spirit line. Some of y'all grandmas still talk like that. Like, call them up on the spirit line. They think the cell phone and all that still from back in the day when you talk to the dead and your grandma about 120. So y'all ain't got that connection with you grass. You just like Granny crazy. She be saying strange stuff. I know y'all all like that when y'all hear y'all grandparents say strange shit. You like that. I don't know why she talk like that. She come from a time where things was way more realer. We got the stupid product versions of things. But y'all cell phones and computers is for that. For y'all, they're still able to do that, communicate with the spirits of the dead. And that's what it started as. It's like you could take pictures and use your phone as a camera, but you could still make calls with it because that's what it started as, a calling machine. So look at it like that. Y'all use the phone and radios and all of that to communicate with yourselves, but they still capable to do what they initially was used for. And so man's communicating with the spirits of the dead. Of course, we're talking about our elite scientists, and we're just talking about over a span of time. So let's say from the 1700s into the 1900s. Everything I just explained was happening in stages in that way, just over time. And so man's communicating with the dead by means of what we call television and telephone. And this is why in the past the ancients or the ancestors thought like mirrors was evil. Because they understood you have the realm, you have two realms of life. You have the terrestrial plane where the living is. So think dark cosmic space. The terrestrial plane is where the living is in this space, and everything outside of the terrestrial planes is the extraterrestrial planes, which is the dead. That's those that lived already and now they extra. They extra shit. They not just alive. You get it? Like that. When you die, you two things now. You was alive, now you dead. Like you extra. You got extra problems. And I was just being funny, but y'all get it. So y'all learn things wrong, politically correct. But extraterrestrial and terrestrial don't have to do with like aliens. It got to do with like the spirits of the dead and the living. The spirits of the dead are extraterrestrials because they coming from, just think outside of Earth, you got dark cosmic space. This is the realms of the dead. You get it? Think like your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is that place. The dream happened there. Like, so think outside of Earth, you got dark cosmic space. This is the realms of the dead, or this is your extraterrestrial planes. And all the living is in your terrestrial planes, which is Earth. So anything outside of Earth is a dead spirit of some sort. Meaning there is no aliens. Y'all are law. I already explained these things to y'all, but become a channel member. Maybe some of the videos are not visual because of that reason, but ain't no aliens. There's just the spirits of the dead, and the spirits of the dead have avatars, just like y'all have like avatars on Facebook and places that y'all don't got no business being a part with. And so it's deep, but this is why the old people thought like scrying mirrors, and when televisions and telephones first came out, they looked at it like that's evil. Pretty much everything y'all view like technology, they view as evil, but they understood like what I was just explaining, like extraterrestrial and terrestrial. And so a black television screen They understand that's the abyss. That's the cosmic abyss. That's the realm of the dead. And anything coming through that medium is the dead. You get it? You have to remember, they know a television and telephone is something you use to communicate with the dead. They don't know nothing about no television show. They have real television show where you watch the spirits act crazy in their realm. The same way when you do DMT and you go to DMT realm and they crazy there. It's fun. It's interesting, intriguing, like that. This is where y'all get TV shows from, the scripts for them, etc. I know you don't think man was genius enough to just pull this from his own brain. He seen this somewhere when he was getting high. he said, we gotta sell this TV. We gotta get this TV and get some of these shows that's in the spirit realms on here. You know, the plays and dances and song-alongs and dumb things they do there. All the little kids' songs come from the spirit realms. Spirits is kitty. They the reverse of they the reverse of alive. Like they're going backwards to kid. It's like your grandparents. They start getting old. They start getting kitty. Like the death. Like it's the going back. So spirits is kind of spirits is kind of immature. But if you grasp life is a cycle, so they're going back to kid. We're going forward to being, alive and grown, and the spirits of the dead are going back to oblivion slowly though. So they're going back and I'm sorry, I'm laughing. This is funny to me when you got a full understanding and you really understand what I'm saying. It is fucking hilarious. Life is so. Remember, I told y'all in the past, man. Real life is more, more interesting and strange than the lies y'all make up. Take a chance to learn real life, you'll be intrigued forever. You'll never lose interest, cause it just gets stranger and stranger. If you come to my channel for wisdom, so like that, where you like, damn, he don't ever run out of content. Cause life got too much content. It's just strange. But this is why the old, our ancestors, they were scared of these things. They had a clearer understanding. They don't understand, like, well, technically they watering down that science that have to do with speaking to the dead, and they just speaking to their own damn selves. And it ain't harmless, but it ain't what you thinking it is. They just doing dumb shit. They being exploited, meaning they being charged to use all those services. So that's the problem for that. It ain't what you thinking, where they like talking to the dead. They don't even know that is. I'm speaking like from the perspective of somebody explaining to the spirits of the dead or the ancestors, if they was to be raised from the dead and see how we moving about. They would have the wrong perspective. Not understanding like, no, y'all had the real deal in the past, and the people in today time are just like, they're like pets. And so they're just giving watered down versions of things. They're not giving real food. They're giving dog food, cereal and shit. Pre-cut meat and, pet food. And so a blank computer screen or a blank television screen is like the abyss, and so the imagery is put in there, but in the past the imagery the signal would have been caught the same way the signal's caught when y'all are watching whatever show y'all are watching. You have an antenna and all of that, so it's the same. In the past, the signal would have been caught. When you're dealing with telecommunications and broadcasting, it have to do with a transmitter, an antenna, and a receiver. The transmitter is like the source. The antenna is like the direction this energy is going to be pushed towards. And the receiver is what's going to be receiving it. You get my point? So, like, if you're using, like, a light bulb or something, let's say, and just pretend that the light bulb is like a television for broadcasting. So you get my point. You got the source of the energy, you got your metal wires, they're like an antenna directing that energy towards the light bulb, which is going to come on. And that's like the imagery. And so broadcasting work in that way. So this is how the living is speaking to the dead through broadcasting and telecommunications, which is telepathy. We use it now just to speak to one another. Just look at it like if man realized, damn, I'm speaking to the dead and they in a whole nother realms. Well, I could speak to living people using this same equipment. I could speak to my brother. He live across the river. I use it for that. Like that. Just, improvising with what they have already. But making pacts with the spirits of the dead in the meanwhile. And so everything y'all know about television, radio, telecommunications, it got to do with pacts between the living and the dead. Now, I'm sure y'all all want to know how this works in depth. And so can I get some give backs, please? This is top level. This is top level wisdom. I'm not sure if a lot of y'all are a little young-minded or whatever the case may be. But the information I explain and give out, this is not entertainment. Meaning my channel is not a rap channel, a gossip channel. I ain't got no problems with those genres. Y'all have entertainment in life. I entertain myself too. But my perspective is always in order. You get my point? If I'm in science class, I'm in science class. If you get it. I'm basically saying my channel ain't what y'all used to seeing on YouTube. Meaning it's not entertainment. I'm giving y'all wisdom that a common person would never have access to. Y'all would never have access to know this. This is not unknown knowledge. Y'all just would never have access to knowing this. And if you think that's a joke, then why you don't know this? You can play with yourself and say, man, this ain't real. Alright, that's fine. Whatever you need to do to make yourself, feel like you in playland. But my channel not playland. I'm giving y'all wisdom that y'all wouldn't be able to get no other way. And that's just real talk. Like, wisdom is kept from common man for specific reasons. It's not usually common man don't get it to give back to his own. And common man usually get it and then he keep himself separated from common man. He view himself as not common no more. And so when you come here, it's important that you give back. This is my work and my business. And more than that, it serves y'all, not me. I already know all of this. More than this. And so can y'all come in here with the right perspective? A lot of y'all coming in here like I'm your servant or something. Or I need you and he begging. I don't need to beg for nothing. I'm not lacking in nothing. You get it? And y'all ain't either. Meaning y'all ain't charity and I'm not neither. And so there needs to be a balance. We all mature adults. If you not there yet, that's fine. I ain't knocking at nobody's door like Jehovah's Witness. If you at the place that I'm saying, you get it? Where you understand life is a balance, period. A man giving me deep wisdom, I wouldn't be able to get no other way. Meaning if you ain't got no games with yourself, where you trying to manipulate, you get it? We live in Babylon. Everybody's trying to manipulate to get whatever they could get. And I'm a wise man. I didn't come for all of that. You get it? That Babylon shit where we having a debate and if you don't have balance, just go. This don't got to do with money. You might have a connection here or there that will help me, but you give back to help me in my progress. I'm coming from poverties that some of y'all ain't never even had. So you get my point? Don't interfere with my growth and things like that because you want to take the wrong perspective. I'm coming from real shit. And that's not no game or nothing to play on. I know I carry things well. But I was born in the poverty. And my mama digged us out somewhat. And of course, I put myself back in impoverished situations, but whatever the case may be, you get it? I'm not God coming before y'all. I'm somebody coming from where y'all come from that was blessed enough to get a higher mind. You get my point? By whatever means that was. Like I said, that happened for me in the forest, but whatever the case is, some of y'all have more money than me, more following, more a lot of things. You just don't have more mind. And so life's a balance. You give back however you can, but you make sure it's of equal measure. Stop coming here like, you get my point? I'm not saying I'm impoverished now or was impoverished when I came. When I came, I was on workers' comp. But I'm just speaking of in my life. I'm 41. But just in my life from birth, I'm coming from poverty. I wasn't born in the rich side of town or nothing like that. And so whatever I'm doing, I'm working. I'm in a way better place. I can't complain. You get my point? But I ain't all the way where I want to be. Wherever that is. Don't be an interference with that. Come here, balance out. Like I said, this is Jules here. If you somebody that do entertainment, I'm not knocking what you do. We don't do the same thing. I'm making a clarity. Whatever you do, it should be done for free. I don't have no corporation I'm signed to, nothing I'm sold out to. And so you understand? When those of y'all that are part of the corporation decide y'all want to flag my channel and interfere with my works, so I gotta tell the people, y'all make sure y'all give back, because at the end of the day, this is y'all works. The people that on YouTube, they already know all this shit I'm explaining, nigga. It ain't for you. They don't like me because this ain't for y'all. YouTube is a business and they running their show. They show being manipulating and dumbing y'all out, and this is how the bunnies is generated. Promoting shit to y'all and all kind of dumb shit. And so my messages interfere with, y'all don't understand. That's why I say some of y'all too childish for my channel. You don't know like what I'm going up against. The niggas could starve me clean out. Y'all playing games. This is not no game. I'm talking to those of y'all that think y'all my op and shit. This is not no game. You lost in a stupid hype. You snap out of it. Like I said, this is wisdom common man would never get. Most of the things I've explained to y'all, y'all ain't never heard before. It makes sense though, but it's supposed to. So you know you you wasn't never supposed to get that. You got the ruling class and the class beneath it, and the class beneath it ain't supposed to know nothing. You gotta have a mind to know that. Y'all ain't supposed to know what a phone is truly for, and they give y'all the wisdom where it's scrambled up, but you gotta get real with yourself. Ain't nobody trying to figure out nothing except for those that don't know. Everything is known. So you don't gotta play with yourself like these scientists trying to figure it out. Man, them scientists is fools. They just ain't in the know. But everything's known. Everything I told y'all is already known. This world being a body, all of that is already known. The moon being like the menstrual cycle, that is already known. The same way a woman gets an egg cell every month, we get a moon every month. Y'all don't know these things. And this information being given to y'all, it could put me in danger in other things. And so I need to make sure I'm generating enough income for me and mine. But if it do come to that, I'm safe and good. Because y'all not gonna come out here shooting for me and mine. Y'all damn sure don't seem to have the mind to say, well, damn, he is looking out. Y'all got me as some opposite shit of black, even though I'm the one serving y'all more than anybody. And so get the mind together for you clocking here. That's why the shit be a little rough like that for y'all. Because y'all coming in here with the wrong perspective while receiving. Get shit fucked up and don't get nothing from me. That's cool. But don't get from me and then every day you adjusting your perspective so you could do me wrong and feel good about it. I don't play them games. You just take what you got and slide or move forward on the right accord. Now, for those of y'all that did, make effort to give back, thank you. If you don't mind in the future, give back to my PayPal and Cash App. Those of y'all that gave back on here, you heard me when I said that before. I'm not sure why y'all overlook it. And I'm saying that if you a viewer and you like, man, look, he telling them how to give back. I said this before. So it's getting to the point where I'm starting to look at y'all like, y'all doing kitty little shit on purpose? Because if that's the case, you can move along and just keep that shit. Again, YouTube take 30% of whatever y'all give back on the super chat. That's almost half of whatever you gave back. You wasting your own money when you do that, technically, in perspective. Meaning you giving back to me, which is needed, but then you giving back that 35% to YouTube. You could have just kept that if that's the case, or you could have just gave it to a little kid in your area. Makes sense. I'm not telling you not to give back to me. I'm telling you make fucking sense. If you that petty when you doing dumb shit, he said don't give back on the super chat. Give it to his PayPal, so now I'm gonna give it on the super chat. You wasting your own fucking money. I don't got time for that. You could have gave that to a little kid, man. I could have gave that to my kid if you don't care, because I give my kid $20 every day. So if you just wasting shit, I don't. That's all I'm saying. Come here with the right mind. Like, get it together. I really don't got time for all that simple-minded shit. Now, those of y'all that did give back, thank you. If that's your only way you can give back is through super chat, I get it. But if you have a choice and it don't make you no difference, it's best you give it back directly to me. Otherwise, you're kind of giving YouTube 50%. If you give $20, you basically, I get 12, YouTube get like $8 of it. Like that. What's the point? Mind you, I don't need $12. I'm trying to run a real business here. Come on now. Trill Chris said can't use my PayPal in my country. If the only way you can give back is through super chat, that's fine. Please get the point of the things I'm saying. A lot of y'all don't never capture the point. If that's the only way you can give back, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to explain anything. If it keeps coming that way, then I already know that's the only way you can. Those that gave back just now through Super Chat, they give back to me personally through PayPal and Cash App. That's why I just said what I said. It have nothing to do with those that can only give back through Super Chat. Follow what's being said so everything be clear. It's always simple. Trill Chris probably out the country somewhere. Cayman Island. One of y'all from Cayman Islands, you gave me an invite to come on out there. I may take that invite the next week or so. I need a vacation. Y'all be stressing me out with y'all imbalances and strange perspectives. But thank you for those of y'all that gave back. I'm about to continue on with the second part of this video, explaining how it actually works, like the communicating with the dead, that is. Peace and wisdom, key to man. And other than that, come in here in the right spirit. Y'all don't gotta come in here and, you get it? Just be regular. When you're not regular, then you start to find yourself, on one side of the other side of the extreme. Just come regular. When I say give back, I'm not talking nothing strange. Just be regular, like, you get it? Ever so often, keep in mind, blood out here putting out hella deep wisdom. Some of the shit he said might get a bullet in the back of his fucking head. Let me look out a little bit. When I asked y'all to support so I could get land, y'all could have did that. Get me the fuck out of here, my nigga. So I ain't even got to worry about none of that. And so you get my point? Makes sense. That's all I'm saying. If you come in here, this real wisdom for real life. I'm not no actor. I'm not giving you entertainment. I'm not no star. I'm not saying that because it sounds cute. I'm saying I don't got the funds or companies supporting me to be a star. Don't put that bullshit on me. Your star got a company gonna give him whatever he need. I don't got none of that. They gonna put him in the mansion and they gonna put him in the best car and do all that for him. He gonna portray it like he did all of that. I don't got all of that. Like corporations behind me doing shit. I gotta do everything with my own dollar. And so you get it? Just come here with the proper mindset. Now avoid all that selling out shit. Cause I already know how that work. You become a puppet. Like you gotta say what they tell you to say. That take away from the whole point of my teachings, which is to give man the wisdom. I give y'all the wisdom that common man ain't gonna get. For me to sign to a corporation, that's over with. I know y'all got to know. There's no fucking way. Ain't no way. I will have to change my step. And so you get my point. For me, it's pointless to do that. Y'all already got the lying down. You get my you already got 50 niggas out here making up lies and shit. Y'all could on that. I don't got no interest in doing that, even for money. It's other things I could do. You get my point? To earn a living. I don't want to get on the lying train. That's not what I do. It's just like boxing. I could become a professional boxer. I'm not intrigued by that. I wouldn't care how much you offering me. You offer me $1 million or so, I might get in there and beat a nigga up, but I'm not about to be a boxer. You just gonna have to keep coming up with extreme amounts of money to get me to do what I wouldn't normally do. And that's how that work in life. If I ask you to clean up some shit out my bathroom, you like, I don't clean up shit, blood. So I hope I hope you about to make me this really good offer. Because if you about to ask me to just clean up shit out your bathroom, nigga, as a favor, nah. You can do that on your own. And so I'm on that time. Just keep everything solid. You ain't got to look at me as no star, nothing. You can reach out to me. You don't got to feel like insecure. I'm regular. I got kids and shit just like y'all. Everything's the same. No matter how much I get, I don't get lost in the stupid. So you don't need to look at me that way. You get it? Like, did I reach whatever pinnacle you thinking of? I probably did already, and I just don't carry it like y'all, so you don't know. I don't know. Y'all got your own way y'all do shit and how y'all perceive things, but it's like I tell y'all, money is for time, so we all slaves. Well, everybody's a slave till they get their own, income. And so you get my point? It's best you use your money for time instead of using it to buy a whole bunch of material items. And then you ain't got to slave so hard. So it's all what you in it for. I'm in it for that. Having money for time to do whatever I need to do. And if it ain't nothing I need to do or need to want, then I just put the money to the side for time. That's a year I ain't got to be somebody's slave. If I save up enough, 2 years I ain't got to be somebody's slave. 3 years, 4 years. Within all that time, you could make something for yourself. But you never got to be a slave again. But if some of y'all, adopt that mindset, do you get my point? And so, take the wisdom I give, even like regular common personal life shit. Take it and use it. And you tell me if you ain't better off. Because I know y'all ain't trying to wake up and go to work and shit like that. I'm sure you'd rather do something else. And it all got to do with that. The money you making, you using it to buy shit, but not using it to hold for time. Y'all selling y'all time when y'all go to work. So if you selling your time, that mean money got to do with time. It ain't got to do with nothing else. Again, if you selling your time, which is your life, to make money, 8 hours a day, you get paid whatever you want. You selling your time. So that mean money is time. Meaning when you get money, that's time for you. To not have to clock in for 8 hours a day, y'all. And if you do it right, you get it? Be in a good place. Lion Zion said, have I heard of the Burning Man Psychedelic Festival? It has symbology of how the world we live in is a body hidden in plain sight. Yeah, I've already told y'all the world is a body, so I'm not even sure why y'all looking for more references. I already made all the points that need to be made, but you want to learn things and then move on from it. You don't want to learn things, then you just stuck indecisively still forever on whatever you learning, which is how y'all kind of seem to be. You learn a thing and then you still stuck on it now, like you ain't come to no conclusion. And so, I don't know how you're moving on to the next subject if you still stuck on the last 50, but you have to move along at some point. And I give you all the reference and everything you need to grasp. It's usually real life as the reference, but I give you science reference, history reference, all kind of reference. If you don't grasp after that, you just don't want to. You get it? You want part 1 through 50 of that, and wisdom is some entertaining show to you. That ain't what wisdom is. So apply the wisdom. Try and be better. Now, when you're dealing with, and like I said, thank you to everybody that gave back. I can't put the link in the chat. 12 play. The chat is for y'all. But the link, if you click the title of the video, the links will pop up. Now, how this works is like this: the living and the dead communicating amongst themselves. Let the plane pass. Like I said, everything within Earth, this is your terrestrial plane. And everything outside of Earth's space is your extraterrestrial plane. This is your plane for the spirits of the dead. So basically, all of cosmic space. All the places outside of Earth and cosmic space are realms of the dead spirits. So, like, to give you an example, but you don't have to use this one literally. Mars is, you get it? A place of the dead. Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Venus, these are places of the dead. You know, places in the abyss, the cosmic abyss. And Earth is the terrestrial plane amongst those where the living is. Now, when you're dealing with the telephones and things like that in Earth, the way I'm able to speak to somebody in California is because they have a cell phone tower in their area that services that area, meaning it picks up the signal and it ping pongs it amongst all the towers on Earth. So if there's a tower in my area, one in your area, wherever there's a cell phone tower, those two areas can be connected. You follow? Because I have a cell phone tower in my neighborhood or my city and you have one in yours, we're able to connect. Of course, we have different phone numbers. This is how you like make it specific, as opposed to me just picking up the phone and now everybody in your neighborhood that got a phone is getting my signal and they have to figure out now who do you want. Like that. We have like numbers to make it more specific where you don't have to go through that. But the cell phone towers in all the different areas is how we're able to communicate with one another. And you have broadcasting towers. This is for, like, you know, cable television. You have Wi-Fi towers. This is for, you know, online and all of that. And so this is how you have your connection, meaning that whoever has the device and they have a tower in their area, they can communicate with people outside of their area if the people outside of their area have a tower also. Now, when you're dealing with outside of Earth, you need cell phone, broadband, you need cell phone, broadcast, and Wi-Fi towers. And this is what the satellites are. Meaning you have satellites floating around outside of Earth. Therefore, they're like cell phone towers, Wi-Fi towers, broadcast towers for catching the signal in a specific area of the realms of the dead. And this is how the dead can communicate with the living by means of all the satellites that we have in what we call outer space, which is truly just the realms of the dead. And so, do you get it now? Whatever you thought the satellites was for, they probably are for that as well. But mainly they're for what I said. Just like your cell phone is for you watching TV and all kind of stuff. But it's mainly for like making phone calls, and before it was used like you using it, it was specifically for communicating with the dead. And so now this is how the dead communicate with the living. Now I know most of y'all will say, okay, that makes really good sense, but I'm still lost on one part. We got cell phones. You telling me the spirits of the dead got physical cell phones? You telling me the spirits of the dead got physical cell phones that they could use on those physical satellites we got? No, this is how that works. You got this thing called a space station. And the space station is what y'all know as the metaverse. Meaning the space station and what y'all know as the metaverse is just a product version of a real thing. Now, how the space station works is like this. The spirits of the dead can occupy the space station. The space station give man and the spirits of the dead the opportunity to intermingle physically. So you see how man had to go to the spirit of the dead's realm by means of plants? He used the plant substances to take him to the different realms of the spirits of the dead. Then that evolved to him communicate with the spirits of the dead by phone and radio. Then that evolved to them typing and texting through teleputing. Then that evolved to them seeing the spirits by television. And so do you get it? It's about making it more and more real. And so now you have the space station, which is a place where you can actually intermingle with the dead and see them in real time. It's a metaverse. When the spirits of the dead contact the space station, they have avatars they can use. Look at it as if their energy is captured. The same way energy is captured for electricity. When they come near the space station, their energy is captured and put into form. Not solid physical form, but energy form where you can see them. Think like a holograph. And that can be put into an avatar. In that, the spirits of the dead can walk around on the spacecraft in shape and form or in avatar. This is like a makeshift physical body, like Shiva got avatars. And so are y'all following? The spirits of the dead trick man, but man don't get it. Man used the psychedelic drugs to visit the spirits of the dead in their realms and talk to them. They teach man how to communicate with them without doing it that way, by understanding telecommunications. So man say, yeah, this is good. This is much better. I ain't got to be high to communicate with the dead, but I can still get the energy I want. I mean, the information I want. Then the spirits of the dead, they teach man how to communicate with them through typing and stuff, texting. And so now man got that technology that he could, earn money off as well as still talking to them. You get it? Meaning man is using the technology that the spirits of the dead is given to him to communicate with them and using it to make a glorious thing for they self here in the physical, make they self godlike. And the spirits of the dead don't mind, just keep the pack going. Whatever they ask of them, it's a back and forth thing. We ask for something, they ask for something. But you get my point? And they taught man in television where man could actually see them. But man don't realize, man, it's all a trick. Because they can see us through the television as well. This is what the movie Poltergeist was explaining. When y'all TVs is on and y'all watching TV, the dead can still watch y'all through the TV. And this is the pack. They tell y'all, man, we gonna make reality TV because the spirits of the dead want to see things in real time. The movies we have is just old days to their life. They don't care about that. When y'all watch music videos and Beyonce is dressed up like Lilith, that's just old days to the spirits of the dead that make all this realistic for man. You get it? But we speaking of the elites. They control rap videos, movies, and all of that. And so the imagery from that is just like old days to the spirits of the dead. But the spirits of the dead want to see life in reality. You get it? So this is what the cell phones and all of that is for. Y'all are recording things that's happening in real time. Y'all have television shows that's based on real time. This is what the spirits of the dead care about, not so much y'all. Y'all live in reality. So for y'all, reality TV fake, because y'all like, man, I live in reality. Get real, that's fake, my nigga. That's just scripted reality. That's like half a reality. I mean, that ain't a whole full written out show, but it ain't reality. But for the spirits of the dead, it's good enough. On top of the things that y'all are recording in real time. So you get it? And so it's a deep truth that, common modern man in today don't know. He think things what he think they is, but they trick man. Meaning when they taught man how to communicate with them through the television, so man know he could see them and they could see him. But when man used the technology now to, make television shows and make money for himself, he don't know that they still got access to see out. Once the door open, the door open. It's just like y'all cell phones now. When they turned off, well, that's just on your end. But like, let's say you was wanted by the law. You can cut your phone off all you want. They could still track it. You could turn off your location. That's just on your end. Meaning Google won't know what the reference to you. Like, they don't know where you at. Your little personal assistants on Google. But outside of that, your location could be off all it want. If the law need to find you, your cell phone itself is a tracking device. It don't have to be on or nothing. As long as it ain't shattered and all the pieces ain't burnt up into vapor, as long as the tracking piece is still there, that can be tracked. And so do you get my point? Once the door open, the door open. So just cause we not looking at the spirits of the dead in our phone and on TV, they're watching us. Like I had said, you have satellites and then you have the space station. You see how scientists always talking about they trying to find life and they trying to find signals? They not talking about life that's alive. Do you follow? The hell you trying to find another living civilization in the cosmos for? What would it matter? Okay, you find more people on another planet, then what? They planet is a place to live at, just like another country. It become redundant. Like that. It's deeper than that. Don't nobody care about the living, nigga. The living already know the living. The dead is technically the living too, meaning they was alive before. They just the old living. They the men of old living, like. But if you understand life in the soul is the life. And so that don't just go out when the body do. And so that metaverse that y'all have, where y'all gonna have y'all fake avatars in that realm and y'all gonna run around interacting, is gonna evolve to like y'all interacting with the spirits in that realm. But the spirits gonna be like the cartoon characters there. You get it? It all got to do with giving the spirits a real place where they can mingle, because other than that, they just lost in the abyss. And so they tricking man to help them come more into reality. Man think, oh, well, we got telephone, we got TV, and we could talk to the spirits of the dead on it and use it for our own personal use, but they don't realize the spirits of the dead manipulating you. They trying to come into our world. Do you follow? And so man created a space station and all these different things. Do you get it? When you're dealing with the space station, only 7 people can be on board at a time. They tell you only 7 people of Earth live on the space station and they don't live there permanently. And small groups come back and forth, but it's usually never more than 7. Now, if you're familiar with your ancient scholarship, Emerald Tablets of Thoth, you got the 7 Lords of Below. I'm gonna say this again, this is scary. Nigga, you got the 7 Lords of the Abyss, my nigga. Are we talking reality? And take the shape and form of man when they choose. And so I don't think y'all grasp. The 7 lords from below rule over Earth from the space station, dictating over man, telling what to do. And if man don't oblige, he gonna know why he should have never gave spirits form. And then take all of human mankind out. Y'all think this aliens and robots, this got to do with the dead. Aliens and robots just technology that could be occupied. Meaning that alien is just the avatar of a fucking spirit. It's like I said, on the space station, they got avatar physical bodies. And more than that, inside the space station, make them take shape and form. Like, they space ain't just all loose. They come into the space station, whatever energy they are, they come into whatever shape and form it is. But it ain't fixed or stable. It's like a hologram. But you can still see them and talk to them for the most part. And intermingle. Now, if you want to have sex with them so you get it, then they hop in their avatar body. You don't have to question that man is sick, blood. I'm just telling you. Niggas is having sex with spirit. But that... Niggas out here having dead sex with spirits on a space station, blood. But you did not hear that from me. I ain't... You got whole spirits of the dead souls being reborn back in. You got strange Jamie Foxx shit going on, big baby, but I don't want to get into that because y'all don't be giving back enough. But you take the wisdom you got here, now you got the Jamie Foxx shit, and you use what you got. Use what you got here to fill in the blanks, because, like I said, y'all don't be giving back enough for me to disappear, you know. When I get enough to disappear, so I'll give y'all some. I'll tell y'all some shit I'm dying to tell y'all, but I just can't. Like, they gonna be looking for me that day. I'm gonna be sought out that day by all the armies of the earth. Meaning there's something that needs to be said, but that's gonna be the end result. So, and I'm sure other people know this thing too, but so you get it. I ain't saying shit either. It ain't worth it. You kind of learn from the past. You said they let Malcolm and Martin die, so more than lying, them niggas ain't even tell what I'm talking about. So give them what they are. I give y'all what y'all already, you know, if y'all open y'all eyes up, you kind of see on y'all own. But you got the space station. Like I said, y'all always get the product version of whatever they really got. So in the past, y'all had the Ouija board and all that fake stuff, which was like a product version of Teleputin, the computer when it was used for talking to the spirits. Now y'all have like Facebook and metaverses and all these things, but they just imitations of that space station and how it works, where man can intermingle with the spirits, but it's in reverse. The spirits need the avatar, not man. So you get it? In that, Trill Chris said, are there angelic and demonic spirits? Life ain't your religion, so you need to snap out of a religion. I said we speaking of the spirits of the dead, and the spirits of the dead is people that was alive before. Now when you focus on reality, you tell me what you just said makes sense where? What? It's cool you got a bunch of curriculums in life. Islam, Christianity, beautiful. Now I'm talking about reality minus labels and names. So you say, is there angelic? Blood, there's people. You know people in life, some good, some bad. Simple. We speaking about the spirits of the dead. You follow? Or you still confused the way I have to say, no, there's no, you can title things whatever you choose. Christianity chose those titles. What they do? Those titles have to do with good and bad. What are you lost on? That part. Y'all make things more confusing for self than need be because y'all got a whole bunch of extra stupidity in the brain. Now the man already told you, you flip-flop all around, follow so much shit, the brain all crowded. And that when I'm giving you deep jewels, you trying to fit it into your stupidity. So then he does it again, and again, and again. Not necessarily you, Trill Chris, but y'all in the hole. Do the same shit over and over, never making the adjustments. In that, it just leave room for you to feel dumb however you cut it. Meaning if I say no, them just titles that Christianity use for good and bad. I don't mean nothing. That part. You say, oh yeah, I feel a little stupid. I kind of knew that already. That's the point I'm trying to get y'all to say. Why y'all keep asking dumb shit y'all already know the answer to? You too wrapped up into the dumb shit. Don't take offense. I'm helping y'all. You have to be aware of your stupidity in order to get rid of it. Again, y'all getting too wrapped up into stupidity. When reality is being spoken to you, you trying to fit it into the dumb. Okay, so who's the God and the devil? What the fuck are you talking about? Niggas here getting the power, and that's that. Ain't no one nothing. It's just the bulk of a thing. You one body that's made of billions and billions of cells. The bulk of things just coming together as one. Ain't no one. You understand? And so you have this space station, like I said, just 7 lords of below. They rule over the abyss and over Earth. Like that. And when people go visit there, they not coming back the same. But you don't have to get lost in the movie. Like I said, we speaking of the spirits of the dead. They was people. So if I go to the space station and I come back still acting like a person, you get it? Y'all get lost in the movie now. So like if they come back from there, then they gonna be acting like they gonna be like you know them to be, because people only know how to be people. Even dead ones. Like that. You probably wouldn't know anything was different. A dog spirit ain't in their body. Like, you get my point? Technology is far beyond where y'all can fathom. So you get it? Some of the stuff I'm saying, I forget, and y'all don't even know that technology exists. Look up how much it costs to go to the space station. It costs about $450,000. Maybe it dropped $250,000 now. But most of y'all don't even know you can go and see everything I just said. You just ain't got no money to. You get it? You traveling on a plane to the next place, and y'all don't know that space travel been started. It ain't promoted to y'all because y'all ain't $450,000 spending motherfuckers on travel. But your elites, it's just like I said, there's countries and islands all around y'all that y'all ain't never see or heard of, but y'all just don't know. And so you got to become more aware. Like I said, I'll be explaining some things, forgetting y'all don't even know where we at in modern time. Meaning common men don't actually know all the technologies that's actually available now. He just know like whatever he can afford, which is what's going to be promoted to him. Y'all know about Maybachs and all these shits from the stars. These things ain't promoted to y'all. When you going down to your little car lot to buy a car, those cars ain't there. Y'all would never know about no Lamborghinis and none of these cars if it wasn't for the stars. It's promoted to them, and that's how y'all see it. Other than that, they have no point on promoting Lamborghinis to a common person. You follow? Like that. There's many services and things y'all don't know of that got to do with shit I'm talking about. Meaning you got people going to talk to they dead. Y'all watch TV and watch each other. Y'all could literally be using y'all phone to talk to y'all dead grandma right now. Using your television to see your dead grandma, she could see you back. Now, the spirits of the dead ain't fixed or in any form until they are. This is like when they get on the space station and decide to put on the avatar or just stay in their holographic looking form. But they could take any form or shape they want, any tone of a sound. Nothing fixed with them. We physical, so we fixed. Your voice sound how it sound because you fixed in your vessel. But if you wasn't, you can make your sound however you choose. Like yourself or like another, whatever. You're not fixed to no vessel, no instrument. So in that, the point I'm making, it ain't a definite you speaking to your loved ones, but you are communicating with the realms of the dead and whoever's in it. They take on the shape and form of your loved ones and pretend to be, so that is what they do. It may be your loved ones. I can't say where y'all dead's going. You get it? Some of y'all dead, you get it? They ain't the best people in life. Some of y'all dead kind of good. They may not be in those realms. You got realms beyond dark cosmic space, the realms of ether. Dark cosmic space being your realms of matter, from airs to solid, but you have realms beyond that. And so you kind of got to grasp. If life feel evil to you, it's because real evil is ruling over. And we not talking man though. We talking like things that have been dead for eons. Spirits of the dead that have been dead before y'all even knew of a physical life, and they've been working this thing out since then. And so they just looking to get rid of man, you know. Or more than anything, they just looking to make their reality physical, meaning dark space. Dark space is hell, my nigga. You can't survive there, whether you physical or not. If y'all go beyond Earth atmosphere, y'all done in space. Or turn into an ice cube and all kind of. I mean, it ain't no way you gonna last out there, champ. You can forget it. And that even got to do with the spirits of the dead. That's why they say hell is cold and hot. When shit's so cold like hot ice, man. It's so cold it burn you. You don't know if it's hot. You like, man, I'm burnt. I don't got time to figure out if it's cold or hot. It's burning me. That's how outer space is. It's the abyss, man. You get flamed out there. And I'm not being funny. If something fly out in outer space, it's gonna freeze out so crazy. It's gonna be like hot ice touched it. And so that's your dead realms. They putting all them satellites and all them things up there for that purpose, like I said. Everything moving along, I suppose, is planned for them. Video games and virtual reality, which is metaverse, as I said. Don't take offense. I'm not sure what's wrong with some of y'all, but I'm sure you heard me explaining like the space station like the metaverse. You say like, what about virtual reality as if metaverse ain't that? What about video games? Like if video games ain't got to do with got to do with computers and Wi-Fi tower. You get my what's up with y'all, man? Y'all alright? Maybe this is why they don't give the wisdom to common man. Because y'all just don't have a mind to grasp it in a mature way. Y'all will either grasp it and then use it stupidly or don't grasp it at all. And do you follow? Some of y'all can grasp and you like, no, I get exactly what you're saying. They making everything you say so fucking stupid and it's so simple. Some of y'all mind like that. Where you like, nah, he break it down so simple. I'm crystal clear on what he said. Why is this stupid motherfucker struggling? But you just don't say nothing. A lot of y'all need to start saying something. Because it's becoming too common to be a little slow. And act like you dumb. Like, you get it? Nobody take offense. I'm just making a point. If I don't say nothing, it won't change. You get it? Then I gotta be frustrated every time y'all say something stupid because I can't say nothing in regards to that stupidity. Like that. That's why I say the emotional state got to be clear. You gotta know stupid is just as annoying. You get my point? It don't just stop with like the stupid person feel offended. They feel offended because whatever the smart person said to them was like what they was holding in. Like, yo, your stupidity driving me crazy. Like that. They get you back, you're stupid. It drive you crazy. Now you get to see like, you get it? How much I'm annoying you right now is what your stupidity did to me. I'm just giving it back. Because you got to learn. But on a real level, this goes so deep. This is why I tell y'all spend time in the forest, man. The plants are a medium. They have to do with the creator. The creator is the hidden hand of what controls the tide. So we speak in real relationships with God. We're not speaking, y'all allegory and religions, but God is a real presence with us all. Like I said, it's the hidden hand that controls all the alchemies y'all see manifesting before y'all eyes. Man don't make hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms merge in the air to create water. And man don't merge the atomic levels of life together that create forest fires. All of these being different states of airs. Meaning oxygen is a state of air, hydrogen a state of air, nitrogen its own state of air. You got all these different states of airs, but if you merge them, you can manifest substances. Different kinds. You get it? It's your real alchemy. Meaning y'all gonna be... I got fake teachers in the daytime. I be getting mad at me because I know real shit. I know real alchemy. Got to do with airs. Understand your different states of airs and the merging of them. Is how you get light and substance. Man can be controlled by light and substance. You get that nigga some alcohol and then you grasp what I'm saying. He can be put under the influence. And he can be controlled by lights. You niggas gonna stop at that red light, that yellow light, that green light. Do you follow? And so this is what a sorcerer was in the past. He understood shit like how I do. And so he make life what he wanted to be. He say all these niggas here just stupid fucking fools. I'm gonna be God to them. Like that. I'm not carrying it that way. In that, can't be kind to man, I suppose. You gotta rule him out and do him awful. That's why this is all known as your shepherd king wisdom. This is the wisdom man rule over man with. Got knowledge of airs, light, substance, and where they derive from. Basically, he got knowledge of God. Meaning he got the knowledge of God the same way God make the atomic levels of life come together in space. He can do that shit here. But it's by the expense of others. And so this what make one just in their ways, where they say, I ain't gonna do them like that. I'm explaining to them what's being done to them so they don't let it happen no more. Not so they do it back to others and nothing like that, but so it stop. So most of the things I'm explaining, they for that reason. So nobody have to get afflicted and it stop. If y'all up on game on tricks and nobody can't play tricks on you, then the tricks go on their own, they way. Trill Chris says, so basically these are all spirits that didn't manage to transcend the darkness. None of y'all gonna transcend the darkness. Do you see how dumb y'all are? You hear my point? Y'all think life, y'all don't get life, man. When it tell y'all in them books, man, 99% of people going to hell, y'all ain't looking at the dumb around y'all. Y'all own states of stupidities. To say, damn, 99% of the world's stupid. So how many solaces do you know on a real level? None. Like that, nigga, where you like, damn, only one nigga I might know that could possibly transcend the dark. I don't know nobody else. Like that, y'all better stop playing. You get the knowledge. Apply it to self. But most motherfuckers ain't how many y'all peoples die how they die? Y'all see them. Did they die geniuses? Or did they die with their addictions in their worst state? Man die in his worst state. He gonna linger till he conquer his urges. As I explained in yesterday's video towards the end. If you seen yesterday's video, you may have to go to the last hour. The last 40 minutes, baby. But and a lot of my videos are like that. You may have to go to the last 40 minutes. You gotta know the part. But man don't take his time here to perfect himself. He take his time here to perfect here. You get it? You know, build shit and do all kind of shit here, but he don't put that kind of work into himself. In his mind, he don't understand that he is an awareness in the mind. And the only thing he can do is get wise or dumb. And this gonna make for, you know, his eternity. It's all correlating to consciousness and unconsciousness. Dumb correlating to unconscious, and you get it? And so, religion and all these things, they to keep man dumb. Everything here to keep man in the pocket. Energy need to be transcended over. Or recycled over. Meaning, just look at it like this. The life intend for y'all to transcend y'all darkness, but you got other things in life that say y'all need to be recycled fucking energy. And it's best you stay dumbing in your darkness so you can be recycled. Otherwise, then life start to not exist no more in terms of the physical. Meaning if y'all are all transcending y'all darkness, do you get my point? That don't leave the things that's in the darkness no room to be. And so the darkness needs y'all to stay dark. Just that's the simplest way I could put it. And so everything you see here is designed for you to stay stupid and not transcend the dark. Otherwise, here don't even exist if y'all all do. If all souls that come into physical life transcend their darkness, then there will be no physical life and no souls to come into this hell. And so y'all have to be recycled over. This is why y'all have all these institutions to brainwash y'all out and dumb y'all down and keep y'all away from y'all emotional state and the perfecting of the self, which is what you get all this time for. To cleanse the self, perfect the mind, perfect the emotional state so you can be one back with God. Because you can't be dirty and a piece of shit and think you could be in the presence of the glory. You can't be nighttime and merge with daytime. They don't go together. It can't be night and dark at the same time. Like that. You have to be what you want to be one with. You get my point? It's a choir. It's a blend. A lot of y'all like, I one with God. You ain't got the character or the emotional state or the cleanliness to be. Everything have to blend. So whatever greatness you view God as, you got to be that to see him and be one with him. And if you know you ain't that and you playing games on yourself, it can be done. Being filthy and bad and a liar and all these things is choices. It ain't what is. It's what man choose to do because that's what he see the most. Life a deep thing if you got a mind to grasp. Of course, I have more deep content. Thinking about explaining the yoga more in depth. I have a video up explaining yoga. Giving you a perspective that it is a practice that have to do with, entering orgasm or becoming back one with, the all, the wholeness. Meaning that's your secret realm, orgasm. But y'all bring it here instead of going to it. It's the coming tide. The heaven is brought here. Heaven comes here. Y'all say I'm coming and y'all ejaculate out orgasm or heaven. Y'all don't go to it. Orgasm being a mental thing. So yoga got to do with deeper things. Then like I said, y'all got fake knowledge and it don't serve y'all no way. And so when y'all get real, you come, you get you some lessons. You can get all the money stuff out your mind, like he about money. Y'all made that narrative up. But I will deal with you how you present yourself by your own perspective. So my thing is balance. Don't come helpless like you a charity case. Ain't nobody a charity case. Even the bum that ain't got nothing, he still got legs and hands. And you get my point, in the brain. And so you never let yourself get to that place where you worthless. Worth ain't in materials. Materials is a representation of the self-worth. Keep the self-worth up the part. And you'll never get to certain states. But if you do, so this is life. Falling low is good in regards to learning. And you get my point? All is learning. The bad times, the good times. Wisdom is just how aware one can become. The broadening of the awareness that we are. Yeah, y'all manipulated and many things happen right in front of y'all eyes. Y'all don't realize. The awareness is not up to par. But this has to do with, trying to fit in many other things. It makes for blinders. So just be mindful. y'all see me. Now, if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. I'm about to depart. I'm a little dried out now, dehydrated out. I didn't bring no water with me. Peace and wisdom all out. There you go. Different angles. Fruit got to be ripe. Yeah, my voice dried out. I can't even barely speak. That's what you call hard work. Talk for 2 hours with no substance to put inside the throat. Indeed, all out. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Work on yourself ever so often. Salam, shalom.